Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're safe and well because that is the most important thing. Now then, what have we got for you today? Well, the first thing, the really, really big news is that the EU have published, after a discussion in European Parliament on Tuesday, they've published a whole lot of proposals for simplifying chemical regulations, not least of which is the decision to roll back a bit on the label formatting changes. Now, there's several things to remember about this. First of all, it's simplification from the EU, which means it's incredibly complicated. And the second thing is that you've got to be really careful about whether all of this is going to come in or not. These proposals should pass in theory, but it wouldn't be the first time we've had changes during the process now, would it? But it is good news overall. It's incredibly complicated, and I've put a link below this video to the press release, which then gives you links to all of the various pieces. Now, the actual bit that deals with CLP is within the thing that says it's the omnibus proposals, and then within that there are some links to legislation, and I think on that second page it's the second link down, and you've got to just wade through the garbage. But at least this has actually happened, and it's going to take a lot of unpicking. And if you have any comments, then obviously please drop a message below, email me with your thoughts. Let's get the unpicking started so we can work out what it actually means. And you might think it's a bit silly, well, you're in GB, it doesn't affect GB companies. Oh yes, it does, because most chemical companies are still selling either into Northern Ireland and or into the EU. And a lot of my clients and colleagues are still trying to use a single label for both GB and EU because it's easier. And I dare say the same thing applies to a lot of companies in the EU who are selling into GB. So yes, interesting times. Hopefully we will get common sense on the job at last. So that was the big news of the day. Now the second news is something that's a bit closer to home for us. As you may know, I live in the countryside. My husband shoots. And we now have the lead ammunition restriction, which was actually brought in. It was one of these things that was brought into the EU and then not brought at Brexit. So it hadn't been implemented in the EU. It had been announced but not implemented. And the Labour government have decided that they are going to bring this in. What they don't understand is that actually it is an incredibly controversial piece of legislation on a number of grounds, which I won't bore you with here, but it's definitely something that has been rumoured to be part of the let's align GB with the EU and then sneak us back in by the back door. So interesting times all round for that one. And not to celebrate, but to mark this occasion, this week's recipe in the newsletter is, of course, game. In fact, it's Tom Kerridge's venison madras recipe, which is really, really good. Thanks very much for watching live. By the way, I can see someone viewing us. Hello. So lovely to have you, whether you're live or on catch-up. So those are the news things. What else have we got? Oh, we are running CLP Fast Track, which is our sort of introductory 3 morning workshops course, which takes you through CLP as a whole, classification, labeling, packaging, and compiling safety data sheets as a sort of introductory course. Now, we're running that in September. And I wanted to give you an early heads up on it. Let me just make sure I've got the exact dates. Yes, 16th, 17th, 18th. And then there's a follow-up the week later. And it's very friendly and informal. No such thing as a silly question, of course. And I've made up a little Google document explaining about how it works and everything, and popping the information there. Now, if you want to join us for that, just drop me an email with Fast Track in the header or send me a direct message. What else is there? Oh, yes, reasons to be cheerful. Today is Joe Lycett again, and it is speed awareness course, which is most amusing, having had to go on one last year. By the way, top tip, if you happen to be on the A650 between Skipton and the M6 turn off at junction 36, just before Kendal, the number of speed cameras that are out there, ridiculous. Anyway, that's Joe Lycett's take on the speed awareness course going in just now. So that's just about it for me for today. Thanks very much for watching. Apologies if you received the email newsletter and it's longer than normal. This is simply because there's been so much happening, and obviously I can't fit everything into a video like this. But if you want to sign up for the weekly email newsletter, then I will pop the link in just now. And that's it, going in just now. So that's definitely it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to chatting to you again next week, if we're spared. Take care of yourselves. Bye.